Justice in Ravenswood, nice neighborhood. Caught sleeping out there, be a rap though. Now.
I'm gonna slap him in the face with the unexpected.
I knew a kid named Peace who grew up on my block, running through life, trying to be a hard rock. Started doing crime and the kid couldn't stop. Alright, whoever had a little bit of cash he was picking, got a big rap for his robbing and sticking, pointing the gun at everyone. He was flipping. Thought it was fly and he just couldn't die. Till one day he robbed the wrong guy. Around the way on a hot summer day, a car pulled up and the bullet started to spray. Went through the vest, hit him in the chest. Rest in peace, the peace is at rest. I guess you could say he's caught in the game, out of control, and he's gonna feel the pain.
Right now, I like, there's a lot of producers I like working with, man. I like Audible Doctor. I'm about to lace an Audible Doctor joint. Schematics, Endemic, my son Purpose from Tragic Allies. So it's a few like new producers I like working with. As far as like the producers that were already out, that came out, that's been doing records, I mean, you know, I'm always gonna be a fan of Pete, Premier, Large Pro. I'm always be a fan of them dudes because they always make, their beats is always credible, their beats is always hot.
How you feel about Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar is nice. He's nice. Kendrick Lamar is nice.
You let him get on the mixtape with me at the
Absolutely. Kendrick Lamar is nice. I like Kendrick Lamar. I had to tell my man about Kendrick Lamar the other day. I'm like, yo, Kendrick Lamar is nice. He was like, And today he was like, yo, you know what, son? You're right, Kendrick Lamar is nice. I think Kendrick, out of like the new wave of MCs, like Kendrick Lamar is the truth.
Cool. Anything you can let people know since they didn't see what I have? Like anything that people can look forward to in the future?
You can look for this Millennium Gem project I'm about to drop, coming in March. I got some joints on YouTube. I just dropped like an intro to the Millennium Gem called Mental Journey. That's on YouTube. Hits is growing. I got crazy features all in the underground. I did some joints with Vinnie Paz for his first single off the new album he just dropped from Jedi Maz. The Large Professor album that dropped, did the first single with him and Mega. I mean, you know, I'm making my rounds. Really, what people fail to realize is that CNN ain't really break up, you know? Musically, you're not hearing nothing from CNN, you know, right now, but CNN ain't really break up. Like, I mean, I spoke to Nori the other day, and I spoke to Poem probably about a week ago, so CNN, the movement itself is together. Musically, it's just, you know, taking time for dudes to come together and just see that vision of that goal again, but in terms of coming together as one unit. But as far as CNN, like, dudes is like brothers, so we talk about things outside of music, you know. We console each other on life issues now, you know. So to me, it's better than music now, you know. For the fans, it's kind of hurtful for the fans that love CNN because they're like, yo, what up with CNN? But like, I speak to Nori on a daily and speak to Pone on a daily, so CNN is not actually, we closer now than we was before. We closer as men now, you know, and dudes got real issues in their life and we call each other and talk about it, like, you know, like we counsel each other, you know what I'm saying? We give advice to each other, which is real talk, which is better than just doing music. You know what I'm saying? When we did the music, don't get me wrong, I loved it. The music was hot. It was magical, the chemistry was there, but it's more so now like we're grown and, you know, we're friends and we deal with each other as friends. For y'all, not you per se, but people outside of that, they just want to see the music. So to them, if they hear a record, yo, CNN's back together, like, it's more of a real life thing. Like, we talk on real issues with each other, you know what I'm saying? Which is more imperative than just music. from a real life perspective. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Like, people just expect, oh, Queensbridge is supposed to, you know, Queensbridge had the game, like you said, Queensbridge had the game and they had a lot of Queens. You gotta remember, like, we didn't all start off as a collective unit. You know, we set off and tried to accomplish our own individual goals, man. And at some points we came together down the line, like when we did the QB's Finest, or when we, you know, collaborated on other projects, but it was never a collective unit. That's what the world seems to like gather, like, yo, Queensbridge, because they see it as one area. Like, it's just like, you know, if you look at Rome, you know what I'm saying? Rome had many different Caesars and kings and conquerors, but they didn't all rock as one unit, you know what I'm saying? They were, you know, they didn't do that. So Queensbridge ain't really split up. It's just, you know, dudes did their own thing. We're just from a pivotal place in history, which is a landmark in hip hop. And aside from hip hop, Queensbridge is just a landmark within itself. Because, you know, a lot of the people who lived in Queensbridge and helped perpetuate that legacy of Queensbridge, they helped spawn the MCs. Like, it's a lot of story and history out of Queensbridge that helped, like, fortify me and fortify Nas and fortify Marley and Shan and you know, everybody else. So it wasn't like a collective thing. People tend to take the history of, like, the Juice Crew was a crew. After the Juice Crew, there wasn't a set crew of Queensbridge. I can't say that I mean, come on, man. Anybody, you know, as an artist, every artist has an ego. Every artist. If you're an artist, you have an ego. If you're a human being, you have an ego. But I'm not going to let my ego answer the question. Like, of course I would like to see more credit for what I've done, but who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? If Jesus was alive, he would want credit for what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I ain't do that, I did that. Give me credit for that. But this is, you know, this is life. You know what I'm saying? And this is how, you know, history propels legends. You know what I'm saying? And what a man does propels his legend and his legacy. So, you know, I may not be able to look for it in this life as I breathe. You know, but I know I won't be forgotten. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be forgotten. As far as the credit goes, who I'm looking for credit from? Like, you know what I mean? The same people that we look for credit from, we look for acceptance from, they never gave us acceptance anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that I look for, like, the accolades from, I wouldn't say praise, but like the homage from, I get it from them. You know, when I got dudes, like I was talking to my man, when I got dudes like Face is a legend, like Scarface is a legend. When I got a legend coming up to me telling me my first rhyme, not my first record, my first rhyme, like, I'm like, yo, how do you know my first rhyme? The dude spit my first rhyme to me. Peace be upon him, Pun. When I first met Pun, you know what I'm saying? Like, physically met Pun. Pun was like spitting live motivated to me. This is when Pun was at his pinnacle, his apex. This is in Club Cheetahs. I was doing Against All Odds album. I left the studio. I was recording my Against All Odds album in Unique Studio on 47th and Broadway, which is in Manhattan. It's not even a studio no more. The address was 701. You know what I'm saying? I was in the studio for 2 months straight, and I was like, yo, I gotta get out the studio. So my man was like, yo, let's go to Cheetahs. Cheetahs is popping right now. So I went to Cheetahs, like 5 of us, we walk up in Cheetahs, and I run right into Pun and Cuban Links. And Pun is like, yo! You know what I'm saying? And he's at the apex of his career. Like, he's like, yo! He starts spitting live motivated to me. And me being the type of opportunist that I am, I was like, yo, what you doing right now, son? He was like, nothing, what up? Like, yo, I got the studio right now, my nigga. He's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? He snatched 2 girls by the hair. He literally did that. And we walked out the studio and did a record called WWT with me, Pun, RZA, Cameron, Killer Shot. And is Cannabis on that record? Yeah, and Cannabis. You know what I'm saying? And you know, things transpired. Me and Nori went through our changes. I went at Nori, he went at me. Fat Joe and Nori was tight. So, you know, at that time, Fat Joe was kind of controlling Pun's career. So Fat Joe was like, yo, you can't be on that record. So I had to take Pun off of WWT. Pun originally was on WWT, son. So there's one thing I do respect about this era. I ain't gonna just shit on this era. Musically, I think it needs to have more of an identity. There's no identity. Everyone sounds the same. So like when I got dudes, I have dudes hit me, yo, you on that? You setting your ways? Nah, man, I'm not setting my ways. You can't hit me with that. I just know the difference. I know what it's like to be original. Like you're not original, man. You're just doing what everybody else is doing. But you don't have the courage to bring that forth. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? You're not there yet. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like when I made records, nobody was making records like I was making. I was making records about going through drug addiction at 12. So it's not like you can compare that time to this time. You can't. Because I was being myself. I was crying out in pain for what I was going through. I was crying out. That's what I was doing, straight up and down. That's why for me, like, you know, and I say it in mostly every rhyme, like, I love hip hop. And I don't have to prove that to nobody, because hip hop knows that I love it. Hip hop knows that I love it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, people saying hip hop ain't died, all of y'all did. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is alive in me. Hip hop ain't never died. That shit is alive in me. I love hip hop. That shit saved me, man. All the things I've been, you don't even know a fragment of my story. Trust me. If you really did, come on, I should have been dead, man. I should have been dead like 100 times, man. Like, you know, I could talk the things I talk because it's not, when I talk the things I talk, it's not arrogance. It's really pain. It's really hurt. But I do it and I try to convey it because I know there's kids out there who's going through the same thing I went through that don't have the same voice I have. Everybody has a voice. Hip hop doesn't have to be a voice. Your voice could be comedy. Your voice could be drawing. Your voice can be cooking. Like I know a dude who I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, who he was in the streets just like me. You know what I'm saying? And years later, his voice came out. And you know, I'm seeing him online, and I'm looking at his dishes, and I'm not even knowing who he is. So I go on his page, and I'm like, yo, that's Justice? That's crazy. Because you know what? It's not crazy. Because cooking is Justice's mic. I told Justice, I said, yo, God, you make edible art, man. That's your rhyme. That's your art. That's your voice. You don't have to be an MC. And that's why I'm conveying all this right now. That's what tragedy is about. Tragedy is about an awareness. And that awareness is finding your potential before it's snuffed out. Before your potential is snuffed out by drugs, by the streets, or by a paradigm that's forced on you for you to believe is your paradigm. Yo, you choose your paradigm. You are your own self-savior. You are your own builder or destroyer. You are your own Satan or God. That's what it's all about with me. So when I see brothers like Justice, and I'm like, yo, Just, I ain't know you could. I hit, yo, what cooking school? Yo, I ain't go to cooking school. And you look at the pictures of what he makes, that's his rhyme. Which I should have felt silly asking him that because he could have been like, yo, nigga, you went to rhyming school?
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop. That's his culture. That's his way. So that's what this is really about. See, so when we ask certain questions, like those questions are all conducive and relative to being who you are, man. So it's not me hating on the new wave, but it's like, come on, man. You're not dressing like that because you chose to dress like that. You're dressing like that because you saw it and a bunch of other motherfuckers said it was cool and you followed the flock. All right, cool, I did it too coming up. I ain't gonna lie, right? But musically, man, like, who are you? You don't even know who these dudes are because they're allowing outside influences to perpetuate their message through them. And it's crazy when you got corporations that won't even give your moms a job dictating to you what you gonna say. And you don't even realize it. That's a whole nother aura though. But that's the type of shit I be on. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to block the noise out. It's good to be around people that I've known for a long time, friends. You know what I'm saying? I could come and laugh with, and we can talk about the past, present, and future, and live. But that's what it's all about, man, and that's where I'm at. Hey, yo, this Tragedy Khadafi, BLACKSEEDZ Entertainment. We doing it. Everything's authentic, man. This is an exclusive interview, official shit. I got family up in here, man. I got my son Archie up in here, Davey Dex up in here, my son Phantom, man. Goblin, we up in Goblin Studio. Family set in the aura's great, man. And this is BLACKSEEDZ Entertainment, man. Tragedy Khadafi 2-5, man. QB's finest, man.
All right, yeah, we there.
That's it.
We there. All right, cool. Let's try that.
It's gonna be like a new track, you know what I mean? We're not gonna...
Hip-hop's a love of mine, predetermined to die like Sandy Hook and Columbine. I'm just trying to block out all the noises, like the news is poisonous, cause it destroys us. Controlled by the very corporations that employ us. Assassinate the characters of those who try to warn us. Magnify the one more time, my bad. That was my fault right there.
That's all right, that's all right.
Cool. That's cool, yeah. Keep doing it.
Hip-hop's a love of mine, predetermined to die like Sandy Hook and Columbine. I'm just trying to block out all the noises, like the news is poisonous, cause it destroys us. Controlled by the very corporations that employ us. Assassinate the characters of those who try to warn us. Magnify the personal problems of us performers.
Sometimes when I